Good morning. Welcome to Navy Federal. Welcome to the 2026 Amazing Shake. I am so proud of each and every one of you for being here today, because today you're doing something special. You're not just standing up and giving a boardroom pitch. You're not just sharing an idea. You're standing up in front of an audience and you're telling them who you are. I learned that for myself on this very stage 7 years ago. As Natalie shared, I had an opportunity to give a speech. And my message that day was to never give in. I told a story of when I was about your age, I wanted to play high school football. But the problem was I was really scrawny. And I wanted to play football here in the South. And as you guys know, some of the boys here get pretty big. And so I was outweighed by almost every person on my team. And I was just getting beat up. Every day I was just getting dominated in practice. And I remember my body being so broken down, my spirit being so broken that I wanted to quit. But thankfully, I had some amazing people in my life that supported me and guided me and told me to hold on. They told me to apply some grit, and so I did. I did everything I could to build small wins. I would do anything I could to get a little bit better at football, whether it was just counting the tackles that I got in practice. Practice tackles don't really matter, but they mattered to me, and I made them matter. And I built upon those small wins. And eventually, I was a decent high school football player. I got to start on both sides of the football, and I even made the all-conference team. I closed that speech with a quote from Winston Churchill, and I said, "Never give in." And the crowd gave me a roaring standing ovation, and they said, "Yeah, that bald guy got to relive his high school glory days." But what I didn't know was that life was going to test my words. What I didn't know was that I had a large cancerous tumor growing inside my body while I was standing on the stage giving that speech. I didn't know that tumor was there for several years later when it was found. And by the time we found that tumor, it advanced so far that my chance of survival was 28%, and a 28% chance of survival. I found myself, once again, just getting beat up. This time it wasn't by football players that were way bigger than me. This time it was by surgery, it was from chemotherapy, and all the complications that come from that. One particular thing I remember was for each chemo infusion, I had to wear a battery-powered chemo pump. And every 30 seconds, it would pump a little shot of chemotherapy into my port, and it would go to my heart, and as soon as my heart would beat, I could feel that poison spread throughout my body to my fingertips, down to my toes, and I was getting beat up. But once again, I was surrounded by wonderful people, many of them standing in this room here today. They encouraged me. And I knew what I had to do, because I already stood on this stage and I already told the world who I was. I already told the world I wasn't going to give in. So every time I had to wear that chemo pump, I promised myself I was going to ride my bicycle at least 20 miles, sometimes more. And the goal was to have something that I could fight back with. And then I started eating well. I started making sure that I was doing my breathing exercises. I did everything that my doctors told me to do. And I'm happy to share with you that in about a month, I'll be celebrating 3 years cancer-free. So here's what I want you to take away from today. You're going to stand up and you're going to tell us who you are. And when you do that, life might come knocking years down the road and make you stand by your word. But guess what? You already won. Because when you stood up, you told us who you are, and now for the rest of your lives, you're going to show us who you are. Now go get them.